Hello my darlings and welcome. Today I'd like to show you how to create a magical signature sigil. Let's do some magical crafting. In this video, I'll show you how to create a magical signature with 3 different sigil creation methods. I've designed a printable worksheet for each of these methods, so if you'd like to download a PDF of these worksheets, please visit Magical Crafting on Patreon at the link below the video. My patrons can download recipes, Book of Shadows pages, artwork, and more, all provided as PDFs, and I'll continue to add new, downloadable content as I do more projects on the channel. I will be using my channel name to make my signature sigil. You can use your name, or if you have one, you could use your craft name or magical name. A magical name is a second name, often adopted by pagans, witches, or magic users as a means of protecting their privacy, especially for witches who are in the broom closet. A magical name can also be used as an expression of religious devotion or bestowed as part of an initiation into a religious group. It's often used to protect a witch's name from being used in magical workings. This first method for creating a sigil does not have any numbers or letter charts or tables. This method uses the shapes of the letters themselves to create the sigil. I write out the name for my signature, Magical Crafting, and then write out only the consonants, the manifesting sounds. I disregard all vowels and repeating consonants. This leaves us with MGC, LRF, TN. Now I take some time to look at the letters I have to work with, thinking about their shapes and how they might come together as a signature symbol. I begin with the letter M, and then trace the letter N inside the M. Next, I add the letter C sideways on top of the M. This makes it look like horns or maybe a crescent moon over mountains. Next, I draw the letter T beneath the M, and I realize that the letter F can be created by adding a line to the T. Next comes the letter L, which I place to the left of the T, and then I add the letter R. The final addition is the letter G, which is similar to the C, so I place it sideways as well to echo the other half-circle shape. I could stop there and this symbol could be my completed sigil, but I decided to get creative with the shapes and make the sigil more artistic and symmetrical by loosening up the letter structure while still preserving the integrity of the original shapes. I drew the sigil 2 more times with small changes, and I ended up with a very pretty sigil reminiscent of a crescent moon over 2 mountains, with another moon below that and another mountain. I love the way this sigil came out. You can create a sigil in any way that feels best to you, straight lines or curved, all one shape or several different interlocking shapes. Use your intuition and keep working until you get a sigil that speaks to your heart. Every sigil will come out looking different. This is what makes them unique to each individual. One way to use a signature sigil is to carve the negative of it into a piece of eraser rubber, and then use it as a rubber stamp. You can watermark each page of your Book of Shadows with it, stamp it on stationery or greeting cards or witchy correspondence. The second method of creating a magical signature sigil is my tried and true favorite that you may have seen before if you've watched other sigil videos on this channel. This method uses a grid of numbers and letters and a circle with 8 sections. Rather than drawing the circle, I'm gluing one from my printable worksheet onto my notebook. The circle from my worksheet has 8 sections, spaced slightly apart. I number each section in order because that's pleasant to me, but if you make your own shape, you can choose a random number pattern if you prefer that. Next, I create a number and letter matrix. The number across matches the number of sections in my circle. In this example, this is 8. Then I fill in the alphabet from left to right. Next, I write out my signature, magical crafting. Once again, I cross out all vowels, leaving only consonants, the manifesting sounds. If a consonant is repeated, I use it only one time. This leaves us with M, G, C, L, R, F, T, N. Then I go to the number matrix and assign a number. I get 57342 And here's where the sigil comes to life. I take these numbers and bring them into the shape, placing a point on each number in the order the numbers appear, and draw lines in between. When I trace out the sigil, I vary the line position so that it feels more symmetrical. That's just a personal preference of mine. Everyone's sigils will be unique as each person uses their intuition and personal style to create them. I love that this completed sigil looks a bit like a pentacle. What could be more witchy? Another way to use your magical signature sigil is to send it off to an artisan or vendor who can make it into a custom wax seal for you. Of course, you can seal things with wax, but there are ways to get more creative with it as well. You can brand candles with a wax seal or emboss chocolate for a magical snack or offering on your altar. Impress the seals into cookie or biscuit dough. Even brand ice cubes for a magical drink. The third method also uses a grid of numbers and letters, and a square with 9 sections. Again, rather than drawing the square, I'm gluing one from my printable worksheet into my notebook. The numbers in my worksheet are placed in order from left to right, top to bottom. However, you can choose a random number pattern if you prefer that. Next, I create the number and letter matrix to match the number of squares on the chart, 1 to 9 across. And then I fill in the alphabet from left to right. Next, I write out my signature, magical crafting. Once again, I cross out all vowels, leaving only consonants, the manifesting sounds. And if a consonant is repeated, I use it only one time. Again, this leaves us with MGC, LRF, TN. Then I go to the original number matrix and assign a number to each letter. I get 47339625. I notice there are 2 3s side by side, and I'll show you how I deal with that as I draw the sigil. And here's where my sigil comes to life. I take these numbers and bring them into the shape, placing a point on each number in the order the numbers appear, and draw lines in between. This sigil will use the number 3 twice in succession, so I will make a loop in the 3 position to signify that. I've chosen a combination of curved lines to transition between the numbers 9, 6, and 2, but then I used straight lines and sharp corners to make other number transitions. Use your intuition as you create your sigil. Each one is unique to the maker. This sigil came out looking almost like a very fancy calligraphy of an uppercase letter A. I like that because both my first and my last name begin with the letter A. A third way to use your magical signature is to literally sign your magical documents and writings. You can use it to mark your magical tools or sign paintings or artwork. You can use it to represent you in written petitions and spells or carve it into candles. However you use your magical signature sigil, I hope this video has inspired you to try your hand at making one and given you some ideas on how to go about it. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video, let me know in the comments below which of the 3 magical crafting sigils you liked the best